Hey everybody, it's me, Jer, and I'm doing a night video, so the lighting's going to be a little bit off. It's been a long day, and yeah, I just wanted to do a video, maybe even two videos, I don't know. Today, I was kind of spontaneous, and I met somebody, a complete stranger, somebody that I'd never met before. We just started talking today, and I was out for coffee and writing, and I was like, you know what? Let me invite someone to come and hang out, and I wanted human interaction. Not through a screen, not through a phone or an app on a phone or through my laptop. I wanted to actually meet up with somebody, and it was great. It was really amazing. To be able to do. It's something that I did very often when I traveled on my journey, because I mean people would talk through the apps or through websites or whatever. I'm so sorry, I'm tired. So we had that as kind of like a pre-thing, which is what I did today. But then you meet up with somebody in person, and I missed it. I've missed doing it. I miss the journey for that reason. I miss traveling and meeting people for that reason, because you get to meet up and then you share stories and you connect through those stories, and you get to show that you're human, and you're vulnerable. And nothing beats a great story from somebody who's opening up and being human and vulnerable. It's amazing. It really is. Nothing beats being able to tell a great story. And tonight I got to sit down and I got to tell stories about how I got into photography, which was my street story. And you know, I shot photography with my grandma when I was growing up, but really how I found my passion in photography and storytelling was from my time on the streets in New York, and how I got to that, and then how I got into photography going through school, and then after school how I went on the journey, and how I ended up in Orlando with finding real true love with Stafford, and then how that ended up happening that now I'm not in a relationship with Stafford, and now I'm in this place where I'm trying to figure stuff out, and I'm writing, and I'm creating with photography again, and now I'm at this place where it's just self-development, and Stafford's still kind of around, but he's not, and yeah, it's interesting, but it's all these stories, and we tell these stories, and I got to tell these stories tonight, and it felt amazing. It felt great to be able to tell stories. I love this. I love to be able to just tell stories, like tell stories from experiences in life. I got to talk about being a teenager, a young teenager, and like how my grandpa wanted me to find something on the farm that I enjoyed, something that I loved, something I could be passionate about. And the one thing on the farm that I was passionate about and that I found that I would really love was chickens. And like I loved that you could take the eggs and you could either let the hen set on them or take them and put them in an incubator, and then go through the process of like watching the egg do basically nothing, but then whenever the chick was ready to hatch, like you would see a chip out of the egg, and over the next day or so that chick would work its way out of that shell, and it was an amazing process, and you got to see this baby chick be born out of an egg. It's just it's a wonderful experience, but so there's that story, and then how like once I decided that I wanted to be able to raise chickens, and that's what I wanted to do on the farm. My grandpa had me build a chicken coop with a chicken shed, and you know I had my own chickens, and we went to a poultry auction, and I actually bought chickens and got a rooster, and then went through the whole process, and would then raise up these little chicks, and sell these chicks once they got to be a certain size. I would take them to the poultry auction and sell them. Or how we would take the eggs and be able to either eat them for breakfast or sell the eggs to locals. And those stories are what make our life. Like, that's what makes our lives. Is stories. Our lives are made up of stories, and it's important that we live those experiences, that we're in the moment to live those experiences, so that we can then tell those stories, if not for someone else to learn from, then for entertainment. Like, seriously, we live to have experiences, be able to share those stories and entertain others, and maybe teach others through those stories. And then now tonight is a new story. Like, we went and had coffee, and you're meeting this complete stranger, and that by itself is a story. You are open to meeting a complete stranger, to invite them to have coffee and to share of yourself and share experiences. And experiences are stories, and you share those, and they share theirs, and you're learning about them, and they're learning about you, and you're learning about life through those stories. And then afterwards, he was like, well, what do we do now? And I wanted to play Yahtzee. I have Yahtzee here. I bought Yahtzee, and I hadn't really had a chance to play it. Nobody really to play with. And so yeah, I was like, let's go play Yahtzee. He came to my house, came to this room, and we played Yahtzee. I played Yahtzee with an almost complete stranger, and we had a blast. It was so much fun. And then that's when we talked about like childhood stories and more stories. And he actually looked at me and he said, tell me another story. It makes me happy to be able to share stories and for people to want to hear more stories. I love it. If you have stories, share those stories so that others can be entertained or learn from those experiences. The best way to learn is to have your own experiences, but there are sometimes that you can't have some of the experiences that other people have in the same way they have them. So you can learn from it as best as you can, and maybe be inspired to do something of your own, to create your own stories, have your own experiences, and create your own stories from those. Anyway, I just wanted to share that I was excited about that. I'm excited about storytelling, and what I can do with it, and hopefully I can inspire, teach, and entertain others through my stories. Both stories of experiences I've had, and then created stories that are sometimes even based off reality too, and based off of experiences I've had. So, newfound excitement about the whole storytelling thing. And I just wanted to share, like, at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. So, yeah. Stories. Stories is what we live for. Stories is what life is about. Stories are what life is about. Stories. Experiences, and then later stories that we can share. That's all. You guys have a great day, night, morning, whatever it happens to be, and I will talk to you later. Bye.